looks like this.
Everybody's so tell us, Mr. Welcome.
I'm the president and chief executive of this corporation. I have a lot of stuff.
Hey, somebody, do you want to hear the story of my life? One of them movie companies, TV documentaries. Won't you come and ask me, please? And pay me $1 million to tell you what I do at the store. Cause if you paid me $1 million, I wouldn't gotta go and do it no more.
1, 2, 3, 4. Just like the song sing. All the live long day. Everybody gonna know that song. Looking for a living the whole day long. All the live long day.
Hey, somebody, won't you turn your head? Take a look my way.
I'm getting old and I tell you, getting old ain't nothing new. Stuck again with you, know. Give me my old pal Monday. You know I am shining so. Give me my old pal Monday. And another cup of coffee, get the juices flowing. It's 1, 2, 3, get going. Just like the song say, all live long day. Everybody don't know that song, but we learn it the whole day long. All live long day. Just like the song say, now all live long day. Just like the song say, now all live long day. Just like the song say, now all live long day. Just like the song say, now all live long day. Everybody don't know that song, working out and living the whole day long, all the day long. Hey! Somebody, don't you wanna hear the story of my life? One of them movie companies, TV documentaries.
I'm a dying breed, a laborer, strictly muscle work. I handle between 40 and 50,000 pounds of steel a day. I know that's hard to believe, from 400 pound to 4 and 5 pound pieces. Pick it up, put it down. Pick it up, put it down. Pick it up, put it down. I don't get excited about my job. I do my work, but I don't say whoopee-doo. How you gonna get excited about pulling steel? How you gonna get excited when you're tired and you want to sit down? It's not that the average working guy is dumb. He's tired, that's all. We had this boy at work over the summer, a college boy. He saw a book in my back pocket one time. He walked up to me and he said, "You read?" I said, "What do you mean, I read?" He said, "All those dummies around here read is the sports pages. What are you doing with a book?" But it's a non-recognition that gets to me. You know, to say a man is just a laborer, a woman is just a housewife. It bothers me sometimes, you know, when I'm picking up that steel, to know maybe someday it's going to be a car. And some guy you're never going to know is going to get into it and never think about you. I think about that man sometimes.
Where the hell is the parking attendant?
There he is, driving his air-conditioned car into his air-conditioned office. Not thinking about nothing. Just sitting back and enjoying the ride.
He does this every morning. Not only that, when he finally takes your car, you wonder, what the hell is he going to do with it before he gets it back to you?
So, I've been parking cars for 32 years. In my younger days, I was the best. I could drive any car like a baby. Like I want to change her baby's diapers. I mean, I still got customers say, "Wow, you sure can drive. How long you been doing it?" And I say, well, been doing it since I was 16 years old, and I'm still doing it. All my day is cars. All my waking hours is cars. I drive to work, and then it's the customer's car, and then I drive my own car home at night. Oh, but when I go out, well, then my wife drives. I'm known from Peking to Hong Kong, from the West Coast to Pecos. Hiking cars is my game. In an automobile, I used to be hell on wheels, and that's what earned me my name. Ask anybody to tell you about loving Al. Ask anybody, and anybody will tell you there was a time when nobody could beat me doing what I do. I put the ticket slot under the wheel and right up the back handle under control. Using one hand, I'll spin her around without backing up when it's straight in the hole. People wonder how I do it. Well, there ain't nothing to it. It's just because I'm loving Al the Wizard. One swing Al, that's me. Loving Al is a wizard, so no surprise at what you see. One swing in, one swing out. Look out, there he goes. Now when you're parking cars here, you get it all the types. Now the working man, he's the best. He'll work all day and he'll give you 50 cents. And then we got some people riding in a big long Cadillac, and you know they'll give you one thin dime. Yeah. Oh, and then we got our regular customers. They tip once a week. We give them what we call soigné service. Of course, those who don't tip, we still gotta give them service, but it ain't soigné, you know what I mean? Why can't I be a rich man with some big bucks in my jeans? So I'll buy me a brand new Caddy and a 50-cent cigar. Cause you can't smoke 10-cent stogies when I'm riding in a rich man's car. I see them get out with the tutus on and wearing an I can smell the cologne that meets me up, but I listen a while, pretend like I was sitting there on my own. I make so long in that shirt, cause it feels so damn good because I'm loving Al the Wizard. One swing out, that's me. You loving Al as a wizard. So no surprise at what you see. One swing in, one swing out. Look out, there he goes. Take it over. I had a customer once, told us to stop. Sit down and it looked like I was sitting in the back. He said, you better pull up the seat, cause I'm over 6 feet. I said, mister, I never pull up anybody's seat because I'm loving Al the Wizard. One swing out, that's me. Oh, loving Al is a wizard. So no surprise at what you see. One swing in, one swing out. Look out, there he goes. Hey, check the bodywork on these fellas. I'm sure they're ready for some real service. Oh, now fast these babies can ride. Oh, and you. I'm sure she's ready for full ballet service. Yeah. Oh, listen to that. Oh, but it's just because I'm loving Al the Wizard. Wheels at me like a reel, yeah. Loving Al is a wizard. Can't park you like Grand Prix. Like a skip, I see tech. Oh, baby. Oh. Loving Al, sign it off. Oh, yeah.
Good morning. At the tone, the time will be 9 o'clock exactly. Good morning. At the tone, the time will be 9:15 and 40 seconds.
Good morning, Mr. Rosen.
Good morning, Mr. Rosen. Good morning, Mr. Rosen. Good morning, Miss Watson. This came for your special delivery. It's marked very important.
I needed him. 2 weeks.
I can do it in 2 hours. So I just put it on the back burner and produce it on time. When I first came here, I came early and I stayed late. I would work a project to the wall, get it really done right, and then ask for more. They didn't like that. I was out of line. I was wrecking the curve. Everyone else was rationing his time, playing cards at lunch for 3 hours, sunbathing on the roof. I realized, okay, the road to ruin is doing a good job. The amazing, absurd thing is that once I decided to start doing a good job, people began to recognize a kind of authority in me. Now I'm just moving ahead like blazes. I have my own office. I have my own secretary. If I want a bookcase, I get a bookcase. If I want to go shopping, I go shopping. This is the first comfortable job I've ever had in my entire life. And it is absolutely despicable.
We had this one boss. He would walk around all day and he wouldn't want to see you idle at all. Anytime they see a woman idle, that really irks him.
Miss Wilson, will you come into my office, please?
Yes, Mr. Roberts?
My secretary's out, and I need this typed by noon.
But I'm no longer a clerk typist, and you yourself said for me to get it out of my mind. Are you trying to confuse me? Anyway, this is script. I can't read script.
I'll read it.
Okay, you read it, and I'll write it out.
Gentlemen, this report will elucidate.
There's his hand going all over the script. He doesn't know what he's reading, I can tell. He just wants to see me busy.
Furthermore,
No, I can only do one sheet at a time. I'll go over and type this up. So what I did was, I would type a paragraph, then wait 5-10 minutes. I tried to make all the mistakes I could. You know, it's amazing. When you want to make mistakes, you really can't. One of the other girls came over and said,
Hey, Diane, I think you're really going offline.
"Oh, shh, be quiet. I know what I'm doing. Just go away." I fixed it up real pretty. Well, I mean, after all, he told me himself I was no longer a clerk typist. Here's the first sheet, Mr. Roberts. I'm sorry I didn't have time to proofread it. It made me nervous to have it typed by a certain time. I had deliberately misspelled some of the words. He got the dictionary and looked them up for me.
Miss Wilson, the number 8 does not appear in the word elucidate.
I took it back and crossed out the old words and squeezed the new ones in there. So 12:30 comes and the work just looks awful. I put the first sheets together. Ugh. I never saw anything so horrible in my life. I decided to write him a note. Dear Mr. Roberts, you've been so much hired. You proofread. You look up words for your secretary. It must be marvelous working for you. Please call on me again. I never heard from him.
Good afternoon. At the tone, the time will be 12:55 and 10 seconds.
It's not just the assembly line worker whose job is too small for his spirit, you know? A job like mine. If you really put your spirit into it, he would sabotage it immediately. Jobs are not big enough for people. I've noticed, when you ask someone who they are, they define themselves by their job. Oh, I'm a secretary. I'm a sales manager. Oh, I'm a corporate executive. When somebody asks me, I say, I'm Nora Watson. At certain points in time, I do things for a living.
Good afternoon. At the tone, the time will be 1 o'clock exactly.
I'm the president and chief executive of this corporation. I have a lavish office, 2 secretaries, a private dining room with a private chef. My life couldn't be more secure, right? I don't know of any situation whereby a corporate executive is sure of his position from moment to moment. Sure, we put on a front. Nothing could happen to me. I'm too important. But the fear is there. You can smell it. So I sit in my lavish office and eat jelly so by the minute. When a top executive is fired, the shock is tremendous. He doesn't know what hit him. Immediately his Cadillac is taken away from him. His watch line is taken away from him. Even his phone at home stops ringing. Everybody shuns him because they don't want to be associated with him. Bingo. He's dead. We hired his vice president. He was with us about 6 months and totally inadequate. I called him into my office and told him he was through. Gave him a nice severance pay. He broke down and cried. What did I do wrong? How could you do this to me? My daughter's getting married next month. How am I going to face people? He cried, and he cried, and he cried. But we couldn't keep him on. We had to let him go. Sometimes the power and the status begin to seem empty. Sometimes you get the feeling of little boys playing at some game. You get a feeling of it must be so difficult. Removed from that status position. Suddenly, nobody ever recalls. This is the only thing that I don't want to get into that.
Paper! I don't know really what prompted me to be a newspaper boy. It's just sort of the way you get started, you know. And it's excellent experience insofar as the business world. Thank you. No problem. Gee, it's great to be a newsboy. You roller skate around the neighborhood. You get known at the stores and out of your chores, and it pays real good if you're 11. Hey, I paved the road to finance. Doing business like my daddy does. And I could grow up to be Horatio Alger, whoever he was. Oh, I like my paper route quite a bit, but there's one part that's my favorite. Put your hands around the paper, throw the paper in the bushes, watch the bushes go boing. You watch the bushes go sprawling. You watch the bushes go boing. So when your head's a dragging, cause your mom has been a nagging and your sister's been annoying, you throw the paper in the bushes and watch the bushes go boing. Hey, it's fast to meet the public. You learn who pays you quick and who forgets. You learn new words to swear. It takes to be well, like having debts and German shepherds. Hey, it's funky making contacts. There's major people in my half a mile, and I could grow up to be the president someday if I practice my smile. Oh, and anytime I want to call it quits, I just think about those fringe benefits.
Hey, Jimmy, come on, get over it. Let's go. Guys, come through.
Put your hands around the paper, throw the paper in the bush, watch the bush go.
Boing.
You watch the bush go.
Sproing.
You watch the bush go.
Boing. So long as I you know where you can find working and enjoying. And watch the bushes go.
Okay, break over. Let's go.
Every morning at 9 o'clock, we have a salute to the flag. We sing, "My country 'tis of thee," and then we sing a parody I found of it. To serve my country is to banish selfishness and bring world peace. I love each girl saluting the Star-Spangled Banner. It's a dignified exercise. My name is Rose Hoffman. I teach 3rd grade. At 9:15, we start with arithmetic. I have tables fun on the board. Multiplication. We don't say tables here. We say tables fun. Everything has to be fun, fun, fun. And then we have a penmanship lesson. There it is. In my beautiful handwriting, I have a Parma Method diploma. I tell my kids, Miss Hoffman's here. Everybody works. Working is a blessing. But I don't give them assignments over their heads. I don't tell them the reason for things. I give them the rote method. This is very boring, very monotonous. But habit is a great thing for these children. They adore it. Habit. They love habit. The neighborhood is changing. The type of child is changing too. I now have 32 in my class. About 23 Spanish, maybe 2 Appalachians. Oh yes, I have seen great changes since I began teaching in 1947. January 6th, 1947. My kids then were Polish primarily. I love the Polish people. They worked hard. We also had 2 colored families. But they were sweet. My classroom was always a showcase. In those days we did it ourselves. With colorful pictures and charts on the wall. A snowman in winter, a pumpkin in fall. And all my supplies were in neat little piles on the shelves. My children were always examples. When the principal came, they would rise. If I had to leave them a minute or 2, they always found something constructive to do. And everyone sat in their places according to size. But kids don't know how to behave anymore. Ask them to rise and they'll ask you, what for? They write on the walls, they sit on the floor. It's all informality now. They want me to teach in a classroom like that, but nobody tells me how. I made a big thing about spelling, but they learned by the time I got through. They copied those words till they knew them by heart. 10 times for the dumb ones and twice for the smart. And gold stars were given to those who made sentences too. But nobody teaches them spelling today. Who's got the time between weaving and clay? The words they can spell, I'm embarrassed to say. They're free to express themselves now. The way I've been teaching for 32 years is no longer effective, or so it appears. Well, gratitude word won't be that, so what's wrong with it now? They say I'm supposed to keep up with the times, but nobody ever tells me how. There is one little girl who I remember in all my years of teaching. My favorite, Pam. She was never any trouble. I see her every once in a while. She's a checker at the Treasure Island supermarket. She gives no trouble today either. She has the same smile for everybody.
I don't have to look at the keys on my register. My hand fits. The number 9 is my big middle finger. The thumb is number 1, 2, 3, and up. I use the 3 fingers, my right hand. My left hand is on the groceries. My hips pushing on the button and it rolls around on the counter. I'm just using the hips, the hands, and the register. The hips, the hands, and the register.
I told you before. You pass them out away from the door. I told you before.
Hey, Jim, how about a break, huh?
A break? You got a break. The day you were hired.
Please, sir, don't buy the grapes. Please, ma'am, don't buy the... Please, sir, don't.
Hey, you, what's your name?
Oh. Brett.
I'm Faye.
Oh, there's a few of you checkers who are nice. Hey, there's that one who's incredibly sad.
Pam? She was saying how she wants to go to school and get teaching credit, but she can't, because the hours are wrong. She can't get her hours changed yet. She isn't bitter. If she dies a checker and never enriches her life, hey, that's okay, because those are her hours.
I'm a checker and I'm proud. I'm not ashamed because I wear a nurse's shoes and a uniform. I look forward to coming to work. I enjoy it something terrible. Anyone who looks down on me is lower than I am.
Look, I have to be somewhere in 10 minutes. Could you hurry up and bag that, please?
You wait your turn to get my full undivided attention. You rush and you're gonna get nothing.
You walk in, and the music starts playing. Everything is pretty. Everything looks fresh and nice. You're not aware that in the back room it stinks and there's people yelling at each other. They play music over the loudspeakers, so you'll relax while you shop. They play Guantanamera, the Cuban Revolution song. People don't pay any attention to the music. They come shopping so they can hit their kids and talk about those idiots passing out anti-grape petitions. People come into the check stand. They say,
I just bought grapes for the first time because of those idiots outside.
I have to put their grapes in the bag and thank them for coming. Thank you for coming. And take their grapes outside to the car.
Please, sir, don't buy the grapes. Please, ma'am, don't buy the grapes. According to my mom, I was born in a cotton sack out in the field because she had no money to go to the hospital. We used to migrate from California to Arizona and back and forth. The things I saw, they shaped my life. I started picking crops when I was 8 years old. I couldn't do much, but every little bit counts. Every time I would get behind on my chores, I would get a carrot thrown at me by my parents. But I would daydream. I would picture my mom living in one place all the time and being admired by everyone in the community. All of a sudden, I'd be rudely awakened by a broken carrot in my back. I remember one year, we just got into California for the carrot harvest. It was very cold, and we only had one blanket for 4 kids in a tent. So, I stole a brand new blanket from a grower. Oh, when we got under that blanket, it was nice. But somebody saw me. And the next morning, they told my mom they'd turn me in unless I gave the blanket back. Sterilized. So my mom and I took the blanket down to the river and we scrubbed it and she ironed it and gave it back. I got a spanking for that, I'll tell you. After my dad died, my mom would go into her tent and we would go into ours. We'd roughhouse and everything. And then I'd go into my mom's tent. I'd see her crying. When I asked her why she was crying, she never said anything. All she said was that things would get better. But that day she thought it would get better. It never came for her. If people could see in the winter ice on the fields, in the summer picking watermelons in 105 degrees, when people have watermelons or cucumbers or carrots or lettuce, they don't know how that fine food got on their plates. If I had enough money, I would take busloads of people out into the fields and the labor camps, and then you could see how that fine salad got on their plates. Please, sir, don't buy the grapes. Please, don't buy the grapes.
Said something rather than just jumping up behind me yelling, "Gas man!"
Sorry.
It's down there.
Yes, ma'am.
part of the dog today when the gas man comes. At this one house, I was trying to make friends with the dog. He was a schnauzer. I started to walk away. It was just barking its little bull head off. It just fell over on its side. I thought it had a heart attack. She said, he usually relaxes from barking too much. I usually hit him in the head with my flashlight. And then they'll say, why you hit it? The dog wasn't going to bite you. I say, lady, it's jumping on me. It's scratching me. So when nobody's looking, you kick him down the stairs. Even if he just follows you down the stairs, you try and get him for the one he missed a couple of houses back. Yeah, the big subject of conversation with us is dogs. And women. You get a nice cute chicken that kind of brightens your day. We have a code we put on the card. We put a Q. That stands for cutie. You see a nice lady sitting there in a two-piece bathing suit? They'll be lying on their stomach and they'll have their tops drawn down. If you go there, you scare them good enough, they'll jump up. To scare them good enough where you'll be able to see them better, this takes time. And it gives you something to do. It adds excitement to the day. Gas man!
Work? Oh no, I don't work. Well, I mean, yes, I do work, but I don't have a job. Well, I mean, what I do only matters to 3 people. All I am is just a housewife. Nothing special, nothing great. What I do is kind of boring. If you'd rather, it can wait. All I am is someone's mother. All I am is someone's wife. All of which seems unimportant. All it is just my life. Do the laundry, wash the dishes, take the dog out, clean the house, shop for groceries, look for specials. God, it's that so Mickey Mouse. Drop the kids off, pick their shirts up, try to lose weight, try again. Keep the troops fed, pick their things up, lose your patience, count to 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All I am is just a housewife, nothing great. What I do is out of fashion, what I feel is out of date. All I am is someone's mother, right away I'm not too bright. What I do is unfulfilling, so the TV talk shows tell me every night. I don't mean to complain at all, but they make you feel like you're 2 feet tall when you're just a wife. Nowadays all the magazines make a bunch of beats out of family life. You're a risk if you go to work, but you're just a jerk if you say you won't. Women flip say they think it's fine if the choice is mine, but you know they don't. What I do, what I choose to do, may be dumb to you, but it's not to me. Is it dumb that they need me there? Is it dumb to care? 'Cause I do, you see. And I mean, did you ever think, really stop and think what a job it was? Doing all the things that a housewife does. I'm afraid it's unimpressive. All I am is someone's mother, nothing special. What I do is unexciting. Take the kids here, take the kids there. I don't mean to complain at all. Busy, busy, like my mother. Just a housewife.
I was getting home, picking up this uniform.
And a can of cold beer.
Put my feet up in front of a one-eyed monster.
When that whistle blows, you get a lot of guys want to sit around talking. I just want to get the hell out of there.
It's a pretty good day, laying stone. You get interested in what you're doing and fight the clock the other way. You see, you're not even looking for equipment. You're wondering, I haven't got enough done and it's almost quitting time. There's not a house in this country that I haven't built that I don't look at every time I go by. And if there's one stone crooked, I still notice it. The people what lives there may not even notice it, but I notice it. You see, stone's my business. Stone's my life. I daydream all the time about stone. Someday, I'm going to build me a stone cabin down on the Green River, with stone cabinets in the kitchen, everything made out of stone. Seems all my dreams of gotta have a piece of rock mixed up with it.
He builds a house with his hands. 30 years go by, it stands where nothing stood. A house of stone, the mason sleeps real good. He does his work day flies, and quitting time's a big surprise. And then it's one more stone to get just right. It's always one more stone before the night. Every house he builds, every stone he lays, it's not just making money and counting off the days. He builds a house with his hands. 100 years go by, it stands, it tells you who he was. A life goes fast, but the work Mason does, it's made to last. The work Mason does.
There ain't nothing in this world that's gonna last forever. But with stone, you stand a pretty good chance.
It's made to last.
I could have been what I could have been.
I wanted to be a writer.
I could have been something.
I wanted to be a writer.
A Major League Baseball player.
Own a little farm.
What I could be had been left to me. I would have been something.
Then I got married. The kids came along. And then my daddy got sick.
Tower of strength, center of power, at $10 an hour.
There's always a stumbling block. I was gonna work a few years, buy me a car, head south. Well, then I met the wife. That kind of changed my plans. You never know what you would have did.
I could have done what I could have done. I could have done big things with someone to do what I wanted to. I would have done big things. Swam a few rivers, climbed a few hills, paid all my bills. Now it's just dreams that I'm stuck with, and help
over. So I come out different for my own enjoyment. I say, what's exciting at the bar that I can offer? Or something. Maybe the cocktails, I give them a little philosophy. Beer coffee, I give them political science. I have an opinion on every single subject there is. My bosses don't like it, so I speak sotto voce. But if I get heated, I don't give a damn. I speak like an Italian speaks. I have to be a waitress. How else does the world come to me? Everyone has to eat. Everyone has hunger, and I serve them. I give them service. I can't be survived. There is a difference. I get intoxicated with giving service. It becomes theatrical, and I feel like Mad Harry, and it intoxicates me. I'm on stage. The sellers don't care when they put down the plate. There's a sound. Not with me. When they move a chair, it will scrape with a grate on the ground. Not with me. I will have my hair right when I place a glass. Notice how I stand right as customers pass. So the demi-tasse with a gesture so gentle. I'll do it again till it's near Oriental. Da 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 da. It's an art to be a fine waitress, to see that you pleasure each guest. There's a twist to my wrist if I had a fork drop, or cut off a pork chop, or serve a New York chop. It ought to be stylish and smart. That's what makes it an art. I remember one day, as I do now and then, I get shakes. Down I went, there with my tray full of 7 prime tenderloin steaks. Down I went, but I kept my poise. No one guessed heard me fall. Never made a noise, no good noise, food and all. If you have to crawl, you give them what they like. You carry a tray like it's almost ballet-like. La 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 la. It's an art to be a fine waitress, to see that you treasure each test. Though my chef may be dead, I stay diplomatic. If I give him static, he might burn the headache, or put too much salt in a tart. Even that is an art. Here's your steak, my lady. I like to say my lady. I hate man. And sometimes I say playfully to the man, you'll check more of it.
Well, now let's see ya. What do you think we should tip ya?
Oh, do what you want. Don't play God with me. Tips. Huh. Tips are important to people like captains and barmen. For them, it's a tipsy. For me, I'm a gypsy. Just toss me a coin, and I suddenly feel like I'm calling. So on through the backache, the ulcer, the hot, sweaty heat. On you go through, push it out, Dulce, no matter what's wrong with her meat. On you go. 2 a.m. approaches, the curtains descend. There among the roaches, my axe salad. Every night I tend to find myself crying. There's no work so trying or so satisfying. I tell everyone I'm a waitress, and I'm proud. If somebody says to me, hey, you're terrific, how come you're just a waitress? Know what I say to them? I say, why? Don't you think you deserve to be served by me? It's an art. It's an art to be a waitress, to do without leisure or rest. So I zoom into the room with a flair no one else has, an air no one else has. I swear no one else has. My lips when I say I love you. It gives me glow. Every time I prove I'm a pro. Maybe I'm not quite. I'm not just a waitress. No one.
Don't you go flirt with the other guys while I'm gone.
Oh no, Frank, it's just you, me, and Dave.
On the road, there's no women folk, except a couple of waitresses. A couple of good old girls you can kid around with. So we truckers, we fantasize something tremendous. In your truck, your only companionship is your own thoughts. It's mighty lonely not having anyone to talk to for 48 hours. Halfway back from Milwaukee, you gotta call your dispatcher. You're even glad to talk to him. Hello. Hello, Chet. Yeah, this is... Hello. Hello. Dilly Squad Phone Company?
Hello, operator 448. May I help you?
Yeah, I got cut off.
I'm sorry you're having trouble, sir. May I have the number you were calling?
Yeah, 219 517 2957.
I'm sorry, sir. The party is unavailable.
Jesus, lady, I was just talking to him. What the hell's wrong with you guys?
I'm sorry, sir. Perhaps the party is trying to reach you. Why don't you wait 5 minutes, then place your call? Again. Sometimes you really want to talk to them. If they're upset. For me, it's a temptation to say, gee, what's the matter? But you can't say more than, I'm sorry you're having trouble. If you get caught talking with a customer, that's one mark against you. One man said, operator, I'm lonesome. Will you talk to me? And I just said, gee, I'm sorry, I just can't. But you can't? I got communications poison and I can't communicate. There's 7 or 8 phrases you can use, and that's it. Operator, may I help you? Good morning, may I help you? What number did you want? Would you repeat that again? I have a collect call from so-and-so. Will you accept a charge? Please deposit 70 cents for the first 3 minutes. And that's all you can say?
Anybody that has done hotel switchboard, likes hotel switchboard, is not lonesome. You're talking to people. Asking at the switchboard operator, they like it. I'm tired at the
You
end
get
of the
tired
day.
of talking.
It's not easy on the arm.
Put your arms
It's
together.
hard on heavy weights.
Your
It's
mouth
very
is
heavy at the end of the day now.
The girls sit very close. That's why you get so many complaints in winter. You sit so close. You go to butt in your fingernails. You try to keep your fingernails sharp because they break. But we're listening to conversations.
I never listen in on phone conversation, but I'll tell you.
Some girls really do.
I want you to know that. I don't care who the operator is.
Sometimes the person on the end of the phone, they cut you off. They don't care what's going on in life. It makes the night go faster.
It was 1 o'clock in the morning. A call came in, and I said, "Holiday Inn!" Because we're not. Holiday Inn! I was just fooling around. So the boss called me in, and she said, "Why did you do it? Friend, you're a good operator, and we all love you. But I don't know why you did it." And I said, "I was just having a little fun."
I always thought of a receptionist as a dumb broad at the front desk taking phone messages. But now I'm one. So naturally, I've changed my opinion. She had to be special, right? Because I thought I was special. I was fine until we were having this office party. And I'd be having a fairly intelligent conversation with someone. When they'd ask me what I did, I'd say, I'm a receptionist. And then they'd make their excuses and walk away. So now I come up with other names for what I do. Servo mechanism, communications control. Oh, back to work, back to work. There isn't a 10-minute break in the whole day when the phone isn't ringing. You can't read. You can't think. I'll do drawings. Mandarin. Sort of. Things of nature, never people. Sometimes I pretend I'm alone and things are quiet. I call it the land of no phone. I never answer the phone at home.
Hello, operator, may I help you? Good morning, may I help you?
Ralston, Fisher, and Doyle,
May
may
I
I
have
help
the number
you?
you were calling?
No, I'm sorry. He's
Would
not
you
in
repeat
right
that
now.
again?
Can I take a message?
Sometimes we sit here and we joke. Wouldn't it be great if we could just take this handful of plots and just yank 'em? We think of it. We think of it. If we could just pull 'em out, disconnect them and see what happens.
Run into somebody who says, it's a nice day out, operator. How's your day been? Busy? Has it been a rough day? You're so grateful for these people. Did you say, oh yes? It's been an awful day. Thank you for asking.
Break it on a dime, big buddy, put your ears on for me.
lights, before I sleep in the last of the nights, but I'm gonna be alright. About halfway home, I can't get to a telephone. I'm hot as a pistol, and dry as a bone. I wonder if my baby's alone, but I got to roll, 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 run, trucker. You say where, and I say roll, 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 motherfucker. I'm back on my wheels again. Roll, 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 run, trucker. Turn it around and do it again. Roll, 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 motherfucker. I'm back on my wheels again. Moving on to New Jersey. Big state police. I'm in a hurry. Won't let me go in peace. I'm independent. I ain't got no teams to do. But the FML and the CIO is still on the road. And the only man telling me where to go is the man who owns the code. You say where, and I say when. Roll, roll, roll. I'm back on my wheels again. Roll, roll, roll. Take me on up and do it again. Roll, roll, roll. I'm back on my wheels again. I make 2 round trips to Milwaukee and pass within 4 blocks of my own house, and I never get home. I see lights and windows. I see men sitting with their wives and their families. We truckers, we think of ourselves as sailors who sail out on the highway.
I promised my wife I'd quit the sea. One time, when my ship came in from India, my wife rode 18 hours on the bus to come meet me. She asked me to give it up because she was tired of being alone, and I said, just give it 1 more year, because we've been saving and had plans. This run lasted 2 years. I gave my youth to the sea, and I come home and give her my old age. My wife and I love each other. As a matter of fact, we like each other. Everything we do together. Even at night when I go pee, she gets up and dances with me to the bathroom. The family that stays together, pees together. I used to call my wife 3-4 times every trip. One time in Calcutta, I actually waited 5 hours to get a phone call through. Oh, the feeling you get just hearing her voice. I would actually stand there and choke up. My wife would be crying on the other end, and I'll say, woman, I'm spending too much money on this phone call, stop crying. I was just so happy. No matter how much you love your wife, the sea is drawing you. My dream is to buy a schooner, and then live aboard and then charter. That's what both my wife and I are planning for. Even at my age, I haven't given it up. But if I get my schooner, that'll be tops. That'll be it! I'll have both my loves. My wife and my sea. I'd like to die in sea, and be buried in sea, and spread out at sea. Just give me 1 more year. Just 1 more year. I've got 1.5 years to go, and I'll have my pension. I'll be eligible to retire in about 15 years.
Now I got 27 years to go.
Another 12 years.
17 years!
I would like the experience after so many years, but just like the experience of not having to go to work.
When I retired,
For the first 2 years, I was downhearted. I had no place to go, nothing to do. Then I gave myself a good going over. Joe, I said, you can't sit at home like that and waste your time. You gotta get out, do things. Well, the day goes by pretty fast for me now. I don't daydream at all. I just think of something and I forget about it. You know, that daydreaming that don't do you no good. You know, you gotta keep busy, keep moving. That's the trick. You wake at 10, fold up the bed. You don't want to keep your couch open all day, you know? It's depressing. You cook an egg. You toast some bread. You cook for yourself, you save a bundle. You don't keep track of your money? Who will? You think about the day ahead. You don't go feeling sorry for yourself. It's like I said, you can sit at home and be mad at the world, or you can get out and do things. You take a walk. You meet a chum, because this one guy lives down by the National Biscuit Board. You can see the nice aroma. You shoot the ball. You argue some. Maybe he calls up a couple of other fellas. They come over. You play poker. You lose a gin until they come. This guy, he remembers what cards you picked up. The dirty bum. But then even getting beat at gin show ain't still nothing, huh? You take a bus. You take a train. You go to visit your wife's grave. On the way, you read the Reader's Digest. It does you good to use your brain. Or maybe you go out and see your cousin. You bring a six-pack along. You take a stroll down memory lane. When we was young, we was always together. And raising King, we go back a long, long way. You know, I tell you, some of the times we had. I remember once, back in 22, we were at this fair with these girls we knew on this crazy ride where you screamed or you prayed to make them high. I think they called it that. I could hardly walk as we left the car, as we staggered down for a candy bar, and we sat and laughed in the Patty Arcade. At 6 o'clock, you watch the news. You know them politicians get you so mad you throw your slipper at the set. Nah. You cook some friends. No big to-dos. Most nights you just lay around. You straighten up. Maybe you call your daughter. You watch the game. You take a snooze. But then there's Sunday. Sunday's different. You change your shirt and shine your shoes. Because you're going around the block to the tap. You shoot some pool, you drink some beer. You don't have to drink a lot to have a good time. You know, you have 3, maybe 4 on an evening. You find a pal, you bend his ear. You meet a lot of your own crowd there Sunday. Sometimes a bunch of you sing, I don't know, the kind of song you never hear, like Pretty Baby or Tea for Two. And then you cheer. Last Sunday night we sang Till We Meet Again. Believe it or not, I once did a waltz to the tune. Honest to God, me. It was at a dance. I was 17, and this girl was like from a magazine, and the lights were low, and I really mean low. I think a couple of my friends might have had something to do with that. And I kissed her cheek as we waltzed away. I remember that like it's yesterday. Boy, was she surprised. I can hear her say, Joe! They drive you home from round the block. You take your cash out of your sock. You fix the bed. You check the lock. You wind the clock. When I retired, a lot of people told me, Joe, you've got your health, you shouldn't have done it. But it was too late. I don't know why I retired, it's just a habit, I guess. But I got no regrets, I keep busy, I keep traveling. I go to fires every once in a while. That fire we had down on Milwaukee Avenue about 3 months ago, I was there. I was surprised, you know. The smoke was coming out there, as heavy as hell. But you don't see no flames, you know. They must have had about 30 units down there. You get the news over the radio. Boy, that was some fire.
whole fucking room's orange, yellow. You just see orange and feel the heat. The lieutenant and the other fireman got the ladder up and saved 2 people. But downstairs, there was a guy trying to get out the door. They had bolts on the door. He was burned dead. You know what the lieutenant said? We lost the guy. Shit. We lost the guy. You saved 2 people. How would you know a guy sleeping on a pool table? Yeah. But we still lost the guy. I always wanted to be a fireman. A lot of guys want to be firemen. It's like kids. Everybody's still a kid. Guys 40 years old, the kids, they just lose their hair or they don't screw that much. I used to be a cop. Know why I switched to fireman? I like people. And sometimes I would feel the hate coming into me. I remember this one time. I was on the roof of this project, and there was this black guy about 6'7" at the top of the stairs. He had his back to me. I said, "Hey, fella, turn around." He said, "Yeah, wait a minute." His elbows are moving around his belt. I said, "Turn around a minute." It dawned on me he had a gun caught in his belt, and he was trying to get it out. I said, "Holy shit." So I took out my gun, and I said, "You fucker, I'm gonna shoot." He threw his hands up against the wall. He had his dick out and he was trying to zip up his fly. And there's this girl in the corner which I couldn't see. So, here's this guy getting a hand job and maybe a lot of guys would have killed him. I said, "Holy shit, I could have killed you." He started shaking. The gun in my hand was shaking like a bastard. I said, I must have been crying. I said, "Just get the hell out of here." So I took the fire department test in '68 and got called in '70. You know, the fucking world's so fucked up. The country's fucked up. But the firemen, you actually see them produce. You see them put out a fire. You see them coming out with babies in their hands. You see them give mouth to mouth when a guy's dying. You can't get around that shit. That's real. I worked in a bank, you know. It's just paper. You're looking at numbers. It's not real. But I can look back and say, I helped put out a fire. I helped save somebody. It shows something I did on this earth. I always wanted to be a fireman.
You know what I wanted to do in my life? I wanted to play the piano. That's what I really wanted. And I'd write songs and stuff about my life growing up in the South. About my mama and my grandmother. But I got my own beautiful daughter now, and I got plans for her. So I leave my house every morning and go scrub somebody else's house. And at night I comes here and they scrub it again. For generations, that's all we done. Scrubbing. My mama, my grandmother, and me. But my daughter, oh, she ain't gonna do no domestic work. I aim to be the end of that particular generation. Mama worked just like her mama before her. Domestic working was a trade. There was laundress, cook, and a living help-thirsty girl, babysitter, and a hotel maid. They worked 6 days a week, all day long, never could get out of debt. Those were the days when the minimum
up today. A whole new generation.
My name is Ralph Werner. I'm 19 years old. Notice the American flag on my pocket? I got 4 stickers all over my car. I think America is the greatest country in the history of the world. I sometimes shoot off my mouth when I shouldn't. I don't want to create any hard feelings about me, especially at the store. The length of my hair. I keep it combed, I keep it clean, but it was covering my ears just a bit. Right away I was classified as a radical. Management didn't come right out and attack me, but I couldn't help feel something was going on behind closed doors about it. Last Friday, I got a haircut. Now it's straight where I had it most of my life. I like it better. At the store, I get a warmer feeling. Eventually, I'll probably go into my own business and start a family, of course. My, quote, dream girl, unquote, has long brunette hair, doesn't wear a lot of makeup because she's going to be naturally pretty. I would like her to have a lot of personality because when I'm 50 and we're going up the ladder, there's going to have to be a lot more than looks. And she'll be a good mother. I want 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. I would like a colonial house. Possibly one in a Mediterranean style. I like a lot of bold things in my house. I'd like a nice recreation room in the basement. Possibly a pool table. I hope my wife can play pool. Thank you very much.
I was recommended for this job as a copy boy on a Chicago paper. I went down to the paper and I talked to the editor. Told him how much I wanted to be a journalist. Oh, he liked me. I had a time. Coming to work, for me, was a kind of missionary kind of thing. I was bringing organic walnuts and organic raisins and giving them away to everybody. See, at this stage of the game, I was in a very mellow mood. I was enjoying my job because I was answering the phone most of the time. People would call up or complain or have a problem, and I'd say, this is a capitalist newspaper. And as long as it's a capitalist newspaper, it's not going to serve you because its purpose is to make money for its owner. And then I'd tell them to call up the editor or come down and take over the paper. A lot of people responded very well to these suggestions. Then one day, there was this vase with some flowers in it. I sat down on the floor and I looked at the flowers. Maybe 5 minutes. 6 at the most. They complained I disrupted the office. I was just sitting there with my back straight and breathing. Not... but... right? That disrupts them? I wanted to be touched by these flowers. I stroked one of the petals real gently. And I said, hey, plant. I know you're here in this office, and it's a drag, and you're lonely, but I love you. The next morning, the editor calls me into his office and says, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to take a baseball bat and smash his head in. I mean, he's really a nice person. I like him a lot. I don't think I get any pleasure from shooting him up with a .50 caliber machine gun and seeing his body splatter into pieces. My fantasy all spring of the paper was getting a machine gun and shooting him, or getting a gun and walking into the editor's office and saying, okay, how do you face your death? I've been thinking for months. What will I do when I get fired? I wanted to do something to show, hey, I'm better than you motherfuckers! I was being fired because I was different. I was thinking, how could I show them? Smoke a joint in the city room, meditate in the library, kidnap Marshall Field, shoot him. I had to think fast. So I walked up to the editor and I said, I hope you can live with the conditions you're creating. And I just turned and I walked out and I started to cry. Oh, he hurried after me and he said, hey, wait a minute, I'm not creating these conditions, you are. And I said, no, I'm not the one who has the power. You're the one who has the power. Oh. Then I just hung around the office, sending copies of Rising Up Angry. Well, now I've got myself an unemployment. Oh, they were nice to me the first few times. Then a woman told me to get a number. I wanted to tell her, fuck you! I can wait outside your apartment and knock you over the head and steal your money. But that's business. And I don't like being bitter. I'm a pacifist.
I've heard a lot of songs say where you're going, my son. Now I know they're true. Boy, you never stop to think how fast the years run. Now they've taken you. I remember you was 3.5. On me would sit there after things got quieted. Laugh at some new word you said. How tough you were to get to bed. We planned the night away, planning for our kid. I was your hero then. I couldn't do no wrong as far as you were concerned. You thought I was the best of men. The tables hadn't turned, you hadn't learned how little time it takes. And daddies make mistakes. Seems to me that lately I've been thinking a lot. I think about my dad. Lots of funny things come back I thought I forgot. Now they make me sad. High school that it used to be. I didn't want him touching me, and I shuddered if he did. And further back to summer nights, baseball games beneath the lights, and sleeping in the car. My daddy and his kid. He was my hero then. He couldn't do no wrong as far as I was concerned. I thought he was the wisest and the strongest and the best of men. The tables hadn't turned. I hadn't learned how little time it takes. And everybody breaks. Daddies make mistakes.
This may sound kind of square, but my kid is my imprint. You know what I mean? He's why I work. Every time I see a smart young guy walking by dressed real sharp, I'm looking at my kid, you know? I want my kid to be an iffy snob. I want him to be able to read Walt Whitman and be proud of it. I want him to look at me one day and say, Dad, you're a nice guy, but you're a fucking dumb. Hell yeah. If you can't improve yourself, you improve your posterity. Otherwise, life, it ain't worth nothing. Y'all may as well go back to the cave and stay there. You know, I'm sure the first caveman who walked over out of his cave and over the hill to see what was on the other side? He didn't go there out of his own curiosity. He went there to get his son out of that cave.
I heard a lot of songs say, where you going, my son? Now I know they're for real. For you never stop to think how fast the years on this road steal. Now it seems I always knew why I do the things I do and things I never did. I work my whole damn life so I can give a better life than the one my dad could give me. I give it to my kid.
You want to hear about my job? Well, I don't want to talk about my job. I'll talk about something else maybe, but not U.S. fucking Steel. Unless a guy's a nut, he never talks about his job. He'll talk about baseball. Or he got drunk the other night, or he got laid, or he didn't get laid. See, you take a piece of work. Even, let's say, Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. That beautiful work of art. But what if Michelangelo had to recreate his Sistine Chapel 1,000 times a year? Don't you think that would dull even Michelangelo's mind? Or if Da Vinci had to draw his anatomical charts 80, 90, 100 times a day? Hell no! You know, sometimes when I make something, out of pure meanness, I put a little dent in it. I hit it with my hammer. I deliberately mess it up so I can say, I did that. I want my signature on it, my imprint, my mistake, mine. See, it's not just about the work. Somebody built the pyramids. The pyramids, the Empire State Building, these things don't just happen. You know, I would like to see a building, say the Empire State, and on that building would be a foot-wide strip from top to bottom. And on that strip would be the names of all the bricklayers, the electricians, all the names. So a guy could bring his son and say, see, that's me up there on the 45th floor. I put that steel beam in. Picasso can point to a painting. A writer can point to a book. What can I point to? Everybody should have something to point to.
See that building? I was the one who did the design. I was the one who drafted the plans, every detail and every line. See that building?
I got the brain to hit the beams.
I was the guy who worked above. And those bricks are mine. See that building?
Walk out my door, hands in the frame.
See that building?
20 flights up, I scratch my